What's up, YouTube, man? Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, man, my name is JR, and I did 10 years in the Georgia Department of Correction, man. And I share prison stories, man. I let y'all folks know what was going on while I was behind the walls. Hopefully somebody listen to me, man. Just stay out of trouble. That's all it is. Simple as that, man. But today's story, man, I dropped the video on my first day in immigration, so I'm gonna really just do a spin-off off of that, man. Just continue the whole process, let y'all folks know how it was, the journey from one immigration camp to another camp, flying on a plane from Columbus, Georgia to Louisiana, then from Louisiana to my final destination, which was freedom, man, being home on the motherland where I'm from. So I know I told y'all I was in Ocilla, Georgia, man. That's when I got released from state prison. Like when I maxed out, I had to do the whole 10 years. When I maxed out on that day, you know, if y'all watched that story, if y'all didn't, let me just give y'all a quick recap. Yeah, these folks came and picked me up. They brought me to a little county jail that housed federal inmates, immigrant inmates, like a detention center. Half was a jail, half was a detention center. They brought me there. Man, it was the nastiest place I ever seen in my whole 10-year bid, man. Nasty. The jail was nasty, man. So I was applying major pressure on them folks about transferring me. I was applying major pressure, y'all. So while I was there for like 2 weeks, man, like I said, every time, bro, administration, I'd be on their top. I'd be like, hey, man, I need to talk to an ICE representative. And they'd be like, what you want to talk? I said, listen, man, I need to talk to an ICE representative. I need to get away from here. So they had hooked me up with an ICE representative, man, and I had talked to dude, and dude was like, man, look, I'll try to get you away from here, but you have to go to court first. Now you have to go through a whole court process as far as like you being deported and all that. It's a real court process, bro. You could fight the case, you could do whatever. But my plan at the end of the day, bro, I just did 10 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was meeting guys that was in that detention center in Ocilla, Georgia. Guys who've been down 4 years in the immigration, bro. They just finished their sentence in the feds. And this was one thing. Majority of the guys, the immigrants, they was from the feds. They've been in federal prison. You hardly seen guys that was in the state. It was a couple of guys, but you hardly see them like that. So like I said, I was applying major pressure, man. Told me about the court date. It was a lot of guys from everywhere, man. A lot of guys, Jamaican guys from Bahamas, a lot of island people, all, you know, hella Hispanics, man. Mexicans, El Salvador, all Venezuela, all different countries, bro. Every country you could think about, bro, is gonna be somebody in immigration that's from that country, bro. So leading up to the court process, bro, I already had made my mind up, like, bro, as soon as I go in there, I'm finna sign out. I'm not trying to fight this case, bro. Like I said, you had guys in there who've been in there 3-4 years, bro, fighting an immigration case. And these guys, a lot of these guys are tend to scared to go home. And the reason why I said this, because Jamaicans tend to look down on people who've been deported, bro. They'll say you blew your opportunity or whatever. But my take on the whole thing is, bro, everybody got a life. Everybody got their chance. Everybody walk is different, bro. So you can't really just judge people based on that. Of course, it could be like, okay, they look at America as far as the motherland, the land of opportunity, which it still is. Don't get me wrong. It is the land of opportunity, and you can go there and make something of yourself. And a lot of people has done that, which in my case now, it was a little bit different. I got in trouble, and, you know, I'm getting deported. So a lot of guys, they were scared to actually come back home, bro, because they're coming back home to nothing. They coming back home to nothing, bro. A lot of them family, they don't deal with their family. They probably wasn't dealing with their family when they was on the street. So they scared. They doing everything. They fighting their last chance to stay in America. But guess what, bro? I was just getting out from 10 years, bro. There's no way I'm going to be sitting talking about I'm fighting an immigration case, bro. Send me home. I want my freedom, bro. I'm not voluntarily staying nowhere. Because that's what it is to me. You voluntarily choosing to be locked up. Even though it's immigration, bro, you still locked up. You're still in a cell. They still lock you down. They still tell you when to come out. They still, when you go out, tell you to go run chow, to go eat. They still tell you when you can go outside and play football, do this, do that. I was over with that, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was drained, bro. I did the whole 10, bro. You know how upsetting, how crazy it is for you actually to max out, bro? When you max out, you pretty much get ready to go home. I had to go through a whole nother process, bro. So in all, bro, I did 10 years in 3 months, bro. 10 years in 3 months. So this what it was, bro. Like I said, the morning at court, the morning they called me for court, bro, they came around with their little clipboard or whatever, calling people to court, and you had to go through pretty much the same process, bro. Nah, we wasn't shackled up or nothing like that, bro. They just let us to the little courtroom or whatever, and we go in there. When I went in front of the judge, man, you know, you had a lot of guys, you be in there, you had guys pleading their case, telling the judge they calling out different cases, referring to different cases, saying they trying to fight and all that. Oh, what's on my mind, bro, is when I go in there, bro, I'm telling this judge, like, this is what it is. And then it was my time actually to go in there. But when I went in there, bro, and the judge said, call my name and asked me how I plead, I said, listen, man, I just need to sign the papers, Your Honor. No disrespect. I said, I just need to sign the papers. He's like, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm very much sure. I just need to sign the papers. He asked me again. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. And they brought me the papers or whatever, man. I signed the papers, bro. I'm trying to get up out of here. So I asked the judge. He's like, I'm going to sign off. So I said, Your Honor, how long will it take me from this process to get home? He's like, man, I'm just a judge. You know what I'm saying? The rest of that is just, you know, detention process or immigration process, ICE process. And I was like, okay. Then, you know, guys in there, after, you know, I let the courtroom go back to the dorm or whatever. Guys in there was saying, like, bro, it's going to take this much time. It might take 6 months. But, you know, it was COVID time, bro. So it was a lot, you know, stuff was much slower. Stuff wasn't going in normal rotation like it used to. So everybody was like, man, you probably going to be here a while. I'm like, man, I'm trying to go. I'm trying to get out of here. So once I went to court there, bro, guess what I started doing? I started applying pressure at these folks in Ocilla, Georgia, man. I started applying pressure, bro. Like, man, y'all need to get me out of here, bro. Every time I see an ICE representative, bro, they'll come around in the dorms and stuff, because they be coming around checking on folks, making sure everything good. Every time, bro. I remember it was one dude, he was so tired of seeing me. I'm posting in the window like this. He in another dorm. As soon as he came out the other dorm, he seen me. He trying to go out the door. I like, hey, man, come here. Come here. Like, yo, I want to talk to you, man. Come over here, sir. Come over here, sir. Come over here, sir. I want to talk to you. Come over there. What's up, sir? I said, listen, man. When is that plane? He said, he don't know. I said, listen, you need to get me away from here, because this ain't working out here, bro. I hated that place, bro. It's nasty. It's some of the officers, bro. Some real rednecks down there. Don't get me wrong now. I ain't racist or nothing, bro. But it was some real redneck folks down there, bro. They don't care, bro. They don't care about nothing. They don't care about you. Ask them. Nothing like that. All they come to do is turn them keys, bro. They don't care about nothing. So I'm like, I need to get away from here. That place was like a little dungeon, man. Mind you, I'm just coming from prison. So, you know, I had a lot more freedom as far as like moving around. When you here, bro, you locked in the dorm. Bro, this dorm seemed like it's underground or something, bro. Everything is dark. You can't even tell when it's sunny outside or something like that. I was like, oh, no. This is like me going right back to the county jail. It's like me starting the whole process back over, bro. So I had to be like, I'm trying to process all of this stuff. So I'm like, man, I can't go for it. I got to go. So guys was telling me about the other immigration camps in Georgia. And I was like, man, I got to go. Can't pressure these folks. The sheriff would come around. I talked to him. He's like, man, what's your problem? He used to ask me, man, what's your problem? I said, man, I need to get away from here, man. That is the problem, man. I need to get away from here, bro. And he's like, all right. So what they used to do sometimes, they usually run yard call on a regular, bro. Like every day they'll run yard call. You go outside. They had a mini soccer field out there. They had a volleyball court. Everything is covered in sand. You know, it's a lot of Hispanics, bro. It's hella Hispanics. It's hella Highland folks. It's African people. Like I said, it's people from all races, all different countries, all different continents. It's all over, bro. Everybody is in here. So, you know, I go out there. And one day, I went out there, bro. I went to playing soccer, whatever. Boom. The officer come out there, bro. This man just starts spazzing on everybody. Talking about somebody kicked the ball and landed on somebody's car or whatever like that. Bro, this is a part of everything, bro. All this is a part of everything here, bro. You got this big old fence. You think a ball ain't going over there? This ain't the first time it been happening. You come out here cussing everybody like we a child or something. But I told that man, I said, listen, bro, I ain't your child, bro. I'm not your child. Take that up with the feds, bro. They control this immigration stuff, bro. You just work here. You work for the county anyway. The county is just contracted by the feds to hold these ICE inmates, bro. Immigration inmates. And you come out here talking to somebody like, I said, man, you need to go on somewhere. He gonna call the sheriff, call other people. He called a whole bunch of people like they did the first time, bro. Whole bunch of people come out there. Oh, man, what's the problem? This, that. I said, listen, bro, it's not really no problem, bro. I just told this man he ain't finna talk to me like I'm one of his kids. I'm not finna sit there and listen to him, because I walked away. He was like, you walking away? You need to stay here. I don't need to listen to nothing. I'm sorry, sir, but I ain't got to. I did my time, bro. I did my 10 years. I paid my dues to society, bro. It's time for me to, it's time for me to go. So they out there. I tell the sheriff, man, the same. I say, listen, man, I need to get away from here. This is the same exact reason. He's like, man, all right, man, let me see what I could do. I can see what I could do. And bro, about 2 days later, they called me, bro. They called a couple people, bro, because it was actually a couple people that were trying to put pressure on them, bro. You know, I'm working the chain gang angle. I'm working the game. I'm telling man, I got to go. They called me to pack it up. You know, this process now is pretty much like the same transfer process in the state. You know, you ain't going to no Jackson, nothing like that. They just had a bus that came there. One of these same Bluebird buses, bro. One of these same Bluebird looking buses. It was all white though. And, you know, boom, we went through the intake process. You know, they search you, do all this stuff, get all your property and something transferred with you. We get on the bus, bro. This is a long ass ride, bro. They took us on a long ride. So where they said we was going was actually going to Columbus, Georgia, bro. They got this place they call Stewart Correction Facility. This is actually the biggest correction facility in the state of Georgia, bro. So anyways, bro, like I said, the ride is long, bro. Listen, bro, them folks turn on the road to go around where the prison was. Let me tell you something, bro. Boy, I'm sorry for people who escape or try to escape from that place. Because if you escape from that place, bro, listen, you probably going to go back and be like, hey, man, I turned myself in. Bro, it's so much woods, wetland, swampy area, bro. I'm riding in the bus and I'm just looking. I'm like, boy, this here, where they taking me? We pull up to this spot, bro, this big old place. Like I said, it's the biggest detention center in the state of Georgia. So it's a lot of things going on, bro. It's buses coming from everywhere, all type of stuff. I guess they was bringing, you know, folks is coming from the feds. So guys is actually coming from all over the place, bro. New York, California, in Georgia, all over the place, bro. So when I get there and everything, bro, this seemed pretty much more smooth. I went through the whole intake process. You know, they take your picture, do all this stuff, give you a new ID, all of that stuff, and they actually let you talk to an ICE representative. And you know what my thing was as soon as I got there, bro. Hey, man, when is the next plane smoking? I'm trying to get on the next plane smoking to Jamaica, man. They was like, man, it's a list, it's a process. I said, listen, bro, get me on there, man. I said, bro, I just did 10 years, bro. He said, like, man, I understand it's a lot of guys that did way more time than you. Okay, cool, I understand that too. But I'm telling you, bro, I'm ready. I am ready. Bags are packed and ready, bro. I ain't got much. I throw all this stuff away anyways, bro. I just need my clothes I'm finna put on and go, man. That's all I need. So he's like, all right, man. So anyway, bro, they brought us to the dorm and stuff. Like I said, this is a big old place, man. Like, this camp is a CCA camp. It's pretty much a private camp. They the same one that own like Willa and Coffee. That's regular state camps in Georgia. So it's pretty much set up like that. It's built just like that. Everything is indoor. It's like an indoor facility, bro. They had, while I was walking, while they bringing us in, I'm looking. They got the turf soccer field out there. That's one of the things I saw. I was like, damn, they got a whole bunch of soccer fields out here. Turf, you know, they cater more to immigrants. You know what I'm saying? They had basketball courts and all this type of stuff, but their main cater was to immigrants, bro. You know, they're going to have a lot of soccer field and all this type of stuff. And, you know, majority of people that's in there is pretty much Hispanics, bro. You have island people, all different, but Hispanics, they deep. They deep in there, bro. They going through there like this. You already know the whole situation with Mexicans and Central Americans and all this type of stuff, how they be coming back and forth all the time. So it's pretty much a whole bunch of them. So, bro, as we walking through this place, I'm like, okay, this seems like a little bit more open. You got a little bit more leeway, a little bit more freedom. You can move around. Not no freedom, but you can move around a little bit better here. So anyways, they brought me to the dorm, man. I didn't get back to the dorm till the nighttime, man. Listen, man. They brought us in, talked to some counselors. That's what it was. They brought us, we went there. We probably went on the way to the dorm, probably about like 5 o'clock or something like that. They stopped us to talk to counselors and all this type of stuff. They just going through procedure stuff, bro. Tell you a whole bunch of nonsense. You had to sign paperwork. Meaning, you know, like if I had money on my books in the other account. They transfer all that type of stuff. All this crazy stuff, bro. They brought me to the dorm. Now these dorms are big, bro. These dorms are big. These dorms hold like 100 and something people, bro. A lot of rooms. This is probably one of the biggest dorms I've been in, you know, just going through my whole incarceration process. So anyways, bro, I'm there. It's a little bit more smooth, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, it's a little bit more smooth. You be out in the dorm. Now, one of the things that they was doing, bro, they was doing that rotation thing. Because, you know, it was COVID. They like everybody 6 feet apart. Everybody had a room to themselves. It was one-man room, bro. One-man room. So, you know, how much room was it? I can't quite remember how much room was it. But this had to be one of the biggest dorms I've been in, bro. So after I be in there, bro, I'm there like 2 weeks or something. Like I said, everything pretty much smooth. I met a lot of Jamaican guys, a lot of guys from Bahamas, Trinidad. Now, so it's a lot of guys from Trinidad there. Everybody there and stuff like that. And I remember I met this one Jamaican dude, man, and he was telling me, well, you know, we get to talking or whatever, talk about Jamaica, whatever. He had did some time in the feds. This man did 5 years in the feds, bro. And guess what? He was in this place 5 years, bro, fighting an immigration case. You know, I was looking at him crazy, bro. I was like, bro, ain't no way. He's like, yeah, man, I'm all right, though, man. I work in the kitchen. You work in the kitchen, man? You been working? I said, bro, you got the choice to go home. To go home. Mind you, bro, okay, cool, you might not have nothing going on. Nothing might not be going on in Jamaica like that, bro. But it's an opportunity, bro. Once you are free, you got an opportunity to elevate, bro. You don't never know when it's your time, when it's your big break, bro. Why are you going to choose to be incarcerated, bro? And guess what? 9 times out of 10, you still going to lose that case. That's the thing. That's the funny part about it, bro. 9 times out of 10, bro, they still going to lose that case, bro. I don't know why they be putting themselves through that. And he talking about the kitchen. You know, he used to bring all this stuff back from the kitchen. That's the thing about it. He from home used to bring flour, all this type of stuff. Even though he was in a whole different dorm, he always, you know, it's ways to move, bro. Everybody in here is pretty much joined out, bro. They've been in some form of incarceration, feds, or state, bro. So they know how to move. You know how to get things around. And like I said, in this place, now you still had a lot of drug use going on, bro. It was a lot of strips, a lot of K2. You know, them Hispanics, a lot of cream too, bro. A lot of cream too, bro. You know, the Hispanics, bro, they be on it. They be on it. Some of the island folks too. Some of them too. I ain't gonna put it like they ain't wasn't on it. Yeah, Jamaicans too. A lot of them was on the strips. These folks, they do. But you know, Hispanics, bro, they pretty much can control themselves. And it used to be a lot of instances, bro, like Hispanics, they'll get rowdy up in the dorm and stuff like that. But it never really was no real pressure. Now you had people fighting. You had people fighting, doing all this type of stuff, bro. A lot of time, you might be chilling in the room, all you hear. Now, if you've been to chain gang or been to jail or been to anyone, you can always tell when somebody's fighting, bro. Even if it's all the way down the block in that dorm, you're going to hear it's like 2 gorillas in there, goddamn beat the walls down. That's how it's going to sound. So guys being there getting the hitting, you know, it's just regular chain gang stuff, bro. Everybody pretty much want to go home. Some people working on their case, doing all this, doing all that. Now in there, you had just people like chain gang, bro. People who say they chain gang lawyers, they immigration lawyers, and all this type of stuff, bro. But like I said, it was pretty smooth. Now they had plenty of females working there. There was a lot of females working there, bro, and they was cool, bro. The officers were way more cooler than where I was in Osceola, Georgia, bro. Like I said, they ran yard call on the regular. We go outside, bro. You go outside, bro. You play soccer, bro. You will play football until you weak, bro. Them folks gonna get you tired, bro. Them folks get you tired. We go back to the dorm. The food now, bro, I ain't gonna lie. The food is pretty much nasty. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Pretty much nasty, just like in the state, bro. Just nasty. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't messing with the food, but you know, commissary, I was still going to commissary and make sure everything was straight. And one of the things was, why are you there? Bro, people is always getting transferred there, bro. People was always getting transferred there, bro. And I had a partner who was Jamaican, bro. Bro speaks Spanish. He be communicating with the Hispanics and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of time when the Hispanics leaving, bro, they'll leave food. Like, bro, you might be in there, bro, every night, bro, it's always somebody leaving, bro. And it's always people coming in. So, you know, the dorm is always turning over constantly, bro. People, they be there for a couple of days. You might be there for a week, 2 weeks. Boom, gone. Especially the Hispanics, they keep them like this. Just like that, they spitting them out, bro. So I'm there, bro. I'm there got there like 3 weeks. 3 weeks after. I'm there like another month. So I go talk to the counselor. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to get used to, I'm not trying to get settled in this shit, bro. I'm trying to go home. You got to remember, I just did this dime, bro. I just did this 10-piece, bro. All on my mind is getting out. Still communicating with people out there. Communicate with my family in Jamaica. You get on the wall. At the time now, there was giving away free phone calls. Because like I said, it was COVID going on, bro. So they'll do a lot of stuff for the inmates, bro. And I'll call home, make sure everything good. Let my folks know, like, I ain't hear nothing yet. This, that, and the third, bro. And I went and talked to the counselor one day. I went and talked to her, and she was like, look, it's a plane leaving now. This what it is. Like, it's in Jamaica, it's always a plane coming to Jamaica the last Thursday of every month. Now, actually, I'd heard this before from, everybody being there. People be knowing stuff, bro, because, guys been in there for years and they done seen the whole process. They know how this whole process worked. And guys used to tell me, like, yeah, it's a plane leave every last Thursday of the month. But it was like for the last 2 months, it hasn't been no plane flying out due to the COVID. How everything was shut down during COVID. They try to keep everybody 6 feet apart and all this BS they had going on. I really didn't care about none of that, bro. I just care about getting home, bro. That's all. So she tell me, like, yeah, it's a flight coming up soon. I'm trying to get you on that flight. I was like, you trying to get me on that flight? I need to be on that flight. Yeah, I said, man, I need to be on that flight. I'm not trying to be here. I said, man, I'm not one of these guys trying to fight this case. And I said, listen, man, I know you probably done heard this a whole lot of times before, but I'm ready. I'm ready. She was like, all right, I'm going to get you on there. I'm going to see what I could do. I could make some calls or whatever like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. Now, you had one guy, bro, in my dorm. There was one guy in my dorm, bro. He was in immigration for like 4 years, bro. So he was like, man, I'm working my way with these folks. I'm working my way with these folks. He was Jamaican now, but he was pretty much Americanized, bro. You could tell that he didn't want to go back to Jamaica, bro. He don't know Jamaica like that. A lot of these guys, bro, they've been in the States since they like 3 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old. Never been back to Jamaica, bro. So they pretty much out of tune with everything that's going on, bro. They pretty much lost. So they doing anything not to goddamn go back, bro. They stalling these folks out. He used to talk about how he be working his move. They try to deport him already, bro, because he actually lost his case, his immigration case, and he kept on appealing it, bro, until everything was run out. And he was like, man, I don't know what these folks trying to do. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere, bro. My mama over here, my mama the only one I got. I ain't going nowhere. So I was like, man, all right, whatever. That's your business. I'm trying to go home, bro. I am trying to go home. And to how he was, bro, he seemed like this was home to him, bro. Bro, he knew every officer. He cool with everybody. He might tell me, like, bro, look, that's mine right there. Females coming through. That's mine right there. I'd be like, bro, this yours? Man, you need to go to the world, bro, where they could be yours for real. Ain't nothing going on in here, bro. You might get to grab something and squeeze something. That's one thing I get to do when I was in there. I got to squeeze something, yeah. Nice females in there now. Let me get back on course. But yeah, so after that, bro, and I remember it was time for us. They came one night, bro, because she had called me back. She actually called me back like a couple days after, bro, and she was like, yeah, I got you on the list. I was the happiest person in the world, bro. I was like, hey, come on with it, man. Come on with it. So leading up to that, like the week before, bro, everybody kept talking about it. Like, yeah, bro, it's about to be a plane leaving out soon. There's about to be a lot of people get transferred from here. I guess they was taking us somewhere else. I didn't know where it was going at the time, bro. So boom, one night they came, bro. They like, pack it up. I'm like, what? Pack it up? I'm like, bet. Packing all my stuff. Boom, food and all that stuff, bro. I'm giving that away, bro. I am giving that away. I was like, I'm gonna keep me a couple little snacks. Cause they was like, oh, y'all keep a little something to eat or whatever. Are we gonna take y'all gonna be in the hole for the next 24 hours. I was like, in the hole? Why y'all gotta put us in the hole for the next 24 hours? So I'm like, all right, cool, man. It really don't matter, bro. It's the end of it anyway. I'm on the last lap. That's what it is, the last lap, bro. I'm at the last 200 meter. I'm looking down there at the finish line like, yeah, it's over there. I'm trying to get there. That's where I'm trying to get to. So anyways, bro, boom, they came. They brought us to the hole, bro. It was me. It's a couple of guys that left out of that dorm, bro. A couple of guys. It was some Hispanics that was there. But it was mostly island people, bro. It was mostly island people. I remember that one guy I was just telling y'all about that talking about he ain't trying to leave. He ain't trying to go nowhere. Yeah, them folks came in there, bro. They told him to pack it up. He's like, man, I don't know what y'all got going on, bro. My case still active. He telling them folks like, yeah, he's still in court proceeding. Like his case is still open. He's still fighting. He like, he ain't going nowhere. He ain't this. He ain't that. So I'm like, man, listen, y'all need to leave Buddy where he at, because this is where he want to be. Leave him where he at. Take me and the other guys, let's go to the hole and get this 24 hours out the way or whatever, man. So boom, they brought us to the hole, bro, and I ended up with a room with another guy. He's, he's Jamaican, but he been away for a long time, bro. Yeah, he ain't been in Jamaica since he was 2 years old, bro. He was pretty much Americanized all the way, bro. He couldn't really speak the Patois lingo or whatever. So once I got in the room with him, he came from a different dorm though, but we ended up in the room together in the hole. We get to talking and chopping it up, And he was just sharing. He's like, man, I don't know what I'm going back into. He's like, bro, my folks is straight back here. And he was telling me he came from the state too. Bro did 15 years in the state of Georgia, bro, in GDC. He was a Muslim. He was real cool, bro. Real smooth. Real cool dude, bro. He was telling me, he's like, bro, I'm straight as far as like finances. I ain't really worried about nothing. I done ran up a check while I was in the chain gang. And he looked like he ran up a check. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, all right, boom. I get to telling him, I'm like, bro, you know, shit be all right. Jamaica, all right, bro. He just asked me about the violence, all this type of stuff, bro. I was like, bro, you be good as long as you got your family and you got good people. He's like, yeah, bro, my mama, she gonna fly down as soon as I get down there. This, that, and the third. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. So, you know, we pretty much kind of clicked. We was in the room. Later on that night, bro, guess who they brought in there, buddy? He came in there cussing, make a whole bunch, man, y'all wrong, man. Y'all can't be doing this. I'ma sue y'all, man. I'ma sue y'all. When I looked out there, bro, them four had it like this, hemmed up. Yeah, throwing him in the room. Yeah, get your ass in that room. I don't know where he was trying to stay. Think he finna stay here. He finna have residency in these folks' goddamn detention center all this time. Them folks like, nah, boy, you getting on that plane. And I had just found out that this is what was finna happen. We was finna get on a plane from Columbus, Georgia. Like I said, this place was in Columbus, Georgia. From Columbus, Georgia to Louisiana, bro. So this was the whole process. So boom, I remember the morning now, they came in there, a whole bunch of ICE agents, bro. They came in there, tell everybody get up, get themselves ready. You know, got up, brushed my teeth, get myself situated or whatever. You know, they got us in these jumpsuits and stuff, these orange jumpsuits, bro. Walking around like a highlighter or something. Boom. Get myself together, pack my little stuff that I had, you know, food and all that stuff, the little stuff that I didn't eat. Man, I left that in the cell. I'm like, man, let's go. They put all these cuffs on. They had 5. They had everybody 5, bro. Everybody 5. Let's go. They were like, oh, one dude was like, man, where we going? He's like, bro, we going to the airport. I was like, damn, we finna go to the airport? So I'm like, yeah. Again, bro. They trying to get this man out the room in the morning. Bro, this man is in there crying. Bro, throwing a whole temper tantrum. Man, I ain't going nowhere. Man, bro, the man in there literally fighting, bro. The officers, the ICE agents, they trying to get him out there. They're like, man, listen, bro, I heard the ICE agent, he was like, man, this is like the 5th or 6th time this man done reached to this process, bro, and he done buck, and these folks done left him alone. Bro, the man done got all the way to this process, bro, to get on the plane and everything, to go home, bro, and he ain't want to do it. But these folks like, man, we ain't going for it this time. They trying to drag him out the room. He's screaming, making a whole bunch of noise. I'm like, man, y'all need to leave Buddy where he at again. Yeah, leave him, because he want to stay here. We trying to go. Everybody else is trying to go. Anyways, bro, they cuffed us up and all that, bro. Put us in one of them little paddy wagon vans and drove us to the airport, bro. They had us sitting there in the van for a little while, man. But stay tuned for part 2, man. I will be filling y'all in with the rest of this.